Our beloved leader, Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad, Khalifatul Masih V, may Allah be his helper, undertook a historic and truly memorable tour of the United States and Guatemala. A journey filled with incredible examples of unity, service to mankind, and service to the Creator, as Islam teaches, that we saw brought into practice in the example of our Khalifa. During this visit, His Holiness would go on to inaugurate 3 mosques across the states, meet thousands of members of his community personally, inaugurate a state-of-the-art hospital in the heart of Central America, display the true and immaculate face of Islam to the world, and all throughout be the guide for his community, for them to be the Muslims their faith asks them to be. If you missed any of the activities of His Holiness, then stay tuned as we bring you only a few highlights of the many engagements of Hazrat Khalifatul Masih from his tour of the Americas 2018. This incredible journey began from the Baitur Rahman Mosque in Silver Spring, Maryland, the headquarters of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Community of USA. On the evening of Monday the 15th of October, more than 2,000 Ahmadi Muslims gathered to welcome the Khalifa on a wet, muddy and cold night. The entire site was packed with eager members, excited to see their Khalifa who was coming to this mosque after 6 years. The next day, His Holiness left his premises to inspect the site. He first visited the MTA International Teleport Station. His Holiness then inspected the entire site, visiting each building, level and office, ensuring that all arrangements made for guests who had come to see their beloved Khalifa were right.
नहीं सिर्फ ये है कि दीवार पुरानी है बाकी सारा ये साउथ मेड का भी हम बात कर सकते हैं और अब जो कुछ बात आएंगे फिलाडेल्फिया और ह्यूस्टन से इस पर रिसीव करेंगे
इतना बड़ा चाहिए इसके लिए एडिशन
भेजने के लिए इतना बड़ा चाहिए
अफसर क्या करता है कौन है
ये भाजपा साहब हैं उसके नाम जनरल सेक्रेटरी के दफ्तर में ये जनरल सेक्रेटरी साहब कर सकते हैं
नहीं बता दो
रेजिडेंस की तरफ
ये तो ठीक है इंस्पेक्टर तो तुम
वो हमारा दफ्तर है लेकिन
कहाँ है दिखा दो
जी आज
ये इस दफ़ा तो ये तो कीरा पीछे हैरिसबर्ग से आए हुए तो
रेट के लगे तभी को मुझे लगता है
ये लगे हैं ऊपर
असल करते हैं
यहाँ नहीं
लग रहा है यही नॉर्मल
Let's go. Let's go. Just follow the.
On Wednesday, the 17th of October, His Holiness departed for Philadelphia, one of the oldest Ahmadiyya communities in USA. His Holiness arrived at the newly constructed Baitul Afiyat Mosque in the afternoon to a warm welcome from his community members. This mosque, which was to be inaugurated the coming Friday, is actually the very first purpose-built mosque in Philadelphia. It is based on a large 4-acre piece of land with prayer halls for both men and women and is able to accommodate more than 700 worshippers.
फूले कलियां से तारे निखर आए हैं फूले कलियां से तारे निखर आए हैं
Over the next few days, His Holiness would meet hundreds of members of the community personally. On the 19th of October, His Holiness inaugurated the Baitul Afiyat Mosque in Philadelphia. In his Friday sermon, His Holiness reminded the worshippers that it is not enough to simply celebrate the opening of the new mosque. Rather, it was incumbent upon Ahmadiyya Muslims to fulfill the true purposes of mosques by joining together for the worship of Allah the Almighty and preaching the true peaceful teachings of Islam.
बस वो लोग जो अपने दुनियावी कारोबारों की वजह से खुदा ताला के हक़ को और अपनी इबादतों को भूल गए हैं या उस पर वो तवज्जो नहीं जो होनी चाहिए, वो अपने जायज़े ले लें कि हमारा अहद बैत क्या है और हमारे अमल क्या हैं। और जो यहाँ नए आए हैं वो भी याद रखें कि दुनिया में डूबना तरक्की नहीं है बल्कि तबाही है।
That evening, His Holiness met with Philadelphia Mayor James Kenney and Congressman Dwight Evans at the mosque and hosted a press conference with local media.
Your Holiness, what challenges does the Ahmadiyya community have in the United States and elsewhere around the world?
See, in this present day world, people are forgetting to recognize their Creator. So we are a religious community. And the founder of the Ahmadiyya community said that I have come for two main purposes. One is to make the people realize their duties, their recognition of their Creator, duties towards their Creator, and second, to let the people realize their duties towards their fellow beings. So these are the two challenges here in the United States and elsewhere all across the world.
do you have any message for other faith communities outside of your own?
That we should try to live together. You see, religion is a matter of your heart, and Islam and Quran categorically says there's no compulsion in religion. So since Allah himself has told us that there's no compulsion in the matter of your religion, then being a human being, we should live together amicably and with love and peace and harmony.
Afterwards, a large reception was held celebrating the inauguration of the mosque, attended by nearly 200 dignitaries and local guests at the mosque.
I think that God sent this mosque to this neighborhood and to this city. I really do believe the things that we're struggling with, the difficulties we struggle with, can be helped by positive people and positive role models who can show our children the right way. I'd like to take this opportunity to offer His Holiness the key to our city and welcome him. Thank you.
I commend you not only for your message of peace, but also because of your words with deeds, including the annual blood drive that honors the memorial of 9/11 victims of helping people in the present day.
In times of grief and despair, we will always be there to wipe away the tears of our neighbors and to support and comfort them. Thus, I am sure that you will see for yourselves that where this new mosque is an added physical attraction and landmark in the city, even more significantly, it will spiritually enhance and beautify the society by spreading love and kindness across city and far beyond.
We will wipe your tears if you have troubles. How many people say that to you? His Holiness actually said that to us. I almost started to cry. I almost started to cry from hearing him say that we will wipe your tears.
This is the first purpose-built mosque in Philadelphia. This is an amazing achievement and accomplishment. And here especially, it's a recognition of the unique value that the Muslim community brings. I am thrilled to see it being celebrated so deeply in the community.
I just hope that his message can be spread more throughout this country so that people can understand, and other countries, so that people can get a better understanding of what Islam and the beauty of Islam is.
The inauguration of the mosque and the presence of His Holiness generated significant media interest, and the event was covered extensively in local and state news.
On Glenwood Avenue in North Philadelphia, Muslims are praying, grateful to share their religion with the community, and they're doing it inside this beautiful new mosque.
And if you happen to be in North Philadelphia today, you may have seen a heavy security presence. That is because a religious leader equivalent to the Pope came to the city to dedicate a brand new mosque. Eyewitness News reporter David Spunt is following this story for us tonight.
Hey, Alex, well, the mosque belongs to the Ahmadiyya Muslim Community, a community with strong ties right here to Philadelphia. The dream of this mosque began many years ago, and as of tonight, it's officially open, not just to Muslims, but to anyone who's more curious.
The next day, His Holiness visited and prayed at the grave of the first convert to Islam Ahmadiyya in Philadelphia, Dr. A. George Baker, who converted after reading the teachings of the Promised Messiah ﷺ in his lifetime. His Holiness was escorted through the city by a large number of police vehicles who gave Hazrat Khalifatul Masih and his entourage protocol reserved for state visitors. After a short journey, His Holiness arrived to large crowds gathered outside the Bat Samad Mosque in Baltimore. County police vehicles and helicopters were present for the security of Hazrat Khalifatul Masih. His Holiness inaugurated and inspected the mosque, which was previously a church, and over a 3-year period, with the donations of the local Ahmadiyya community, had finally been turned into a mosque. That evening, His Holiness gave a personal audience to Honorable Ben Cardin, Senator from Maryland. A press conference was held where local print and web news outlets had an opportunity to question His Holiness. Afterwards, a meeting was held between His Holiness and a large number of guests that included Baltimore City Mayor, State's Attorney for Baltimore, international diplomats, and many other religious, educational, and city leaders. A large reception event was held in celebration of the inauguration of the mosque that was attended by more than 200 guests and dignitaries.
We welcome you to Baltimore. You honor us with your presence, and you inspire us by your leadership. The communities that you lead have helped build a stronger and more peaceful Baltimore, Maryland, and America. And your leadership has been global in communities around the world. Your message of peace and love are desperately needed now more than ever before. And you inspire us by your presence and your words here in Baltimore that we all can do better.
I truly believe that we are passing through critical juncture in the history of the world, where both at a national and international level, the world is becoming increasingly polarized and divided. We stand upon the brink of disaster, and so now is the time to take a step back and focus all of our energies on protecting the future of mankind. Now is the time to show our humanity and to spare no efforts in developing peace in our communities, in our nations, and indeed throughout the world. Only if we come together and respect each other's beliefs, can we begin to heal the bitter rifts that have taken root in much of the world.
I was incredibly inspired because he reminded us that it's about love for all and hatred for no one. And at the end of the day, it's about love, compassion, justice, and that's what we need, especially in the city of Baltimore. So I was incredibly inspired and in awe that his presence was here, and it was very, very much timely.
Well, I think we need leaders that are willing to step up and bridge the gap between people who sometimes don't always understand, especially minorities in this nation. And there needs to be more dialogue, honest dialogue, and people that can do it peacefully and respect everyone while doing it.
On the 22nd of October, His Holiness arrived in the Central American Republic of Guatemala, this being his first visit to the country. His Holiness was received at the airport by Jamaat members and was given a police escort to his residence in the town of Antigua, where local and visiting community members gave him a roaring welcome.
Bana hayrek asa la ilaha illallah Tera sudil sana jana se Agar sukan se kaha la ilaha illallah Barot pasai kaki tera sejore Pareka aikapa la ilaha illallah Hazrat Mirza La ilaha illallah Hai daste kiblanuma La ilaha illallah La ilaha illallah La ilaha illallah Hai derde dil ki dawa La ilaha illallah La ilaha illallah La ilaha illallah
That evening, His Holiness made his way to the Batul Awwal Mosque. Perched on a hill, this mosque was inaugurated in 1989 by the fourth Khalifa. Inside, several hundred Ahmadi Muslims from Guatemala and neighboring countries had gathered to meet their Khalifa for the very first time. These Ahmadis hailed from Mexico, Belize, Paraguay, and several other Central and Southern American states.
Yo quisiera preguntar qué necesita ser un buen musulmán.
एक अच्छा मुसलमान बनने के लिए क्या चीज़ बहुत अहमियत रखती है?
एक अच्छा मुसलमान बनने के लिए जो मैंने पहले बात कही है, हर वक्त ये ख्याल रखें कि अल्लाह ताला हम इंसानों से, लोगों से तो अपने अमल छुपा सकते हैं, लेकिन अल्लाह ताला से अपने अमल नहीं छुपा सकते। और जब भी कोई काम करें याद रखें कि अल्लाह ताला हमें देख रहा है। अल्लाह ताला ने जो हुक्म दिए हैं बहुत सारे, कुरान करीम में बहुत बेशुमार हुक्म है, लेकिन कम से कम बुनियादी हुक्म यही है कि अल्लाह ताला की इबादत करो और जो लोगों के हक़ अदा करो, अच्छे अखलाक अपनाओ। हज़रत सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने फरमाया कि मुसलमान वो है जिसके ज़ुबान और हाथ से दूसरे लोग महफूज रहें। एक दफ़ा हज़रत मसीह मौऊद अलैहिस्सलाम से किसी ने पूछा कि मैं अच्छा मुसलमान बनने के लिए, अच्छा अहमदी बनने के लिए क्या करूं और क्या ना करूं। हज़रत मसीह ने फरमाया कि अल्लाह ताला ने मुझे इल्हामन कहा है कि, और तुम्हें भी बता देता हूं कि खुदा ताला से डरो और सब कुछ करो। बेशक जो अल्लाह ताला से डरेगा वो कोई गलत काम कर ही नहीं सकता और वो अच्छा मुसलमान बन जाता है।
Marca la diferencia entre otras religiones, porque nosotros como musulmanes Ahmadi ayudamos mucho a la gente y la ayuda que viene de ustedes, muchas gracias.
वो कह रही हैं कि मैं सवाल मेरा नहीं है, लेकिन मैं सिर्फ शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहती हूँ कि हमारे जो मेडिकल कैंप्स लगते हैं और गरीब लोगों की मदद करते हैं, तालीमी लिहाज से भी और तिब्बी लिहाज से भी इन लोगों को बहुत ज़रूरत है। अब अस्पताल भी हुजूर ने बनाया है, तो वो शुक्रिया अदा करनी चाहती है।
ठीक है, यही हमारा काम है। हज़रत मसीह अलैहिस्सलाम इसलिए आए थे। उन्होंने एक नज़म फ़ारसी में भी लिखी है, खिदमत मेरा मकसूद और मतलूब है, और वही काम आगे चला रहे हैं। और मेडिकल के लिए हज़रत मसीह अलैहिस्सलाम अपने ज़माने में भी मरीज़ों को देखा करते थे, औरतों के चंबेटे हो जाते थे, बेशुमार औरतें आया करती थीं, बल्कि जो इर्द गिर्द रहने वाले लोग थे हज़रत मसीह अलैहिस्सलाम के, वो तंग आ जाते थे, लेकिन आप कहते थे ये गरीब लोग हैं और गरीबों की खिदमत करना हमारा फ़र्ज़ है, इसलिए उनको यहाँ इलाज की सहूलतें नहीं, इसलिए इलाज का ध्यान में मुहैया किया करते थे। और वही काम अब हमने जमात ने जारी करना है, आगे फ़र्ज़ है हमारा कि करें। मेडिकल हेल्प के लिए भी, एड के लिए भी, इलाज के लिए भी और तालीमी सहूलियात मुहैया करने के लिए भी उम्मीद है इंशाअल्लाह ताला आइंदा और भी हम स्कूल खोलने की कोशिश करेंगे।
De las mujeres, ¿verdad? De la historia que podríamos nosotras aplicar a nuestras vidas.
वो एक तो सबसे पहले शुक्रिया अदा कर रही है कि 6 महीने कबल उसे अहमदियत कबूल करने की तौफीक मिली है, गुटेमालन है
माशाल्लाह।
और वो कहती हैं मेरे बच्चों के लिए दुआ करें, और आखिर वो कहती हैं कि हमें हुजूर गाइडलाइन दे कि बेहतरीन औरत जो है, औरतों के लिए कोई नसीहत या हुजूर कोई बात हमें समझाना चाहती हूँ।
औरत के लिए नसीहत यह है कि औरत को अल्लाह हज़रत रसूल ने फरमाया कि माँ के कदमों के नीचे जन्नत है, और एक बहुत बड़ा मुकाम औरत को वहाँ ने दिया, इसलिए कि उसके एक तो वो जब बच्चे को पैदाइश के वक्त जो होती है, प्रेगनेंसी से लेके पैदाइश तक एक तकलीफ़ में से गुजरती है, फिर बच्चे का पैदाइश की एक तकलीफ़ है उसकी वजह से, उसके बाद फिर बच्चे को पालना है, एक लंबा प्रोसेस है जिसमें की वजह से तकलीफ़ में से गुजरती है, और उन तकलीफ़ों से गुजरने की वजह से उस बच्चे का फ़र्ज़ बन जाता है कि अपनी माँ की खिदमत करे, उसका हक़ अदा करे और उस जन्नत को तलाश करे जो उसके कदमों के नीचे है। कहा कि जन्नत में पहुँचने के लिए आंसर ने फरमाया कि बच्चों को अपने माँओं की खिदमत करनी चाहिए, और उसके बाद बच्चे की पैदाइश के बाद भी उसकी खिदमत सबसे ज़्यादा माँ कर रही होती है, इसलिए माँ को ये मुकाम दे दिया और बच्चे को ये हुक्म दे दिया कि तुम माँ की खिदमत करो ताकि तुम जन्नत हासिल कर सको। और इसके अलावा माँ के पे भी एक ज़िम्मेदारी डाल दी कि तुम्हारे कदमों के नीचे जन्नत उस वक्त बन सकती है जब तुम अपने बच्चों की सही तरबियत करोगी। सबसे बड़ी जिम्मेवारी जो माँ की यही है कि अपने बच्चों की नेक तरबियत करें और उनको नेक माहौल में पालें। जब इन्होंने अहमदियत कबूल कर ली है, अपने बच्चों को भी दीन सिखाएँ, अल्लाह ताला के करीब लाएँ, सही आबिद बनाएँ बच्चों को और सही आला अखलाक अदा करने वाला बनाएँ।
Later that evening, His Holiness led the bath for all those present. Hundreds who had never even before met the Khalifa were now swearing their allegiance at his hand.
आज मैं मसरूर के हाथ पर बैत करके जमात अहमदिया मुस्लिमा में दाखिल होता हूँ। Ahmadiyya de la mano de Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad.
23rd of October was a historic day for the Republic of Guatemala, as His Holiness Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad was to inaugurate a state-of-the-art hospital built by the Ahmadiyya Muslim Community's non-profit charity, Humanity First. The Nasser Hospital took 3 years to build and is situated in the town of Zacatepec, where it will service the town's more than 30,000 inhabitants. The 28,000 square feet facility has 27 hospital beds and provides an emergency department, neonatal, dental and cataract surgical facilities, and 2 operating theatres, and will be served by an ever-increasing team of international and local doctors. The project was funded entirely by donations from community members, doctors and the general public. The hospital will not only run in a completely non-profit capacity, but will also offer subsidized or even free treatments to the poorer patients. His Holiness arrived at the hospital and was greeted by hospital and Humanity First staff.
सारी जो है वो ये सारे हॉस्पिटल की फैकल्टी है जो जिन्होंने वॉलंटियर किया हुआ है हॉस्पिटल के लिए।
He then sat down briefly with local and international leaders, which included Norma Torres, member of the United States Congress, and Miguel Figueroa, Vice Minister of Health for Guatemala. Afterwards, His Holiness officially inaugurated the hospital and inspected the facilities.
हजरत मोहम्मद मुस्तफा इस्लाम अहमदियत जिंदाबाद गुलाम अहमद की जय हजरत खलीफतुल मसीह अल खामिस जिंदाबाद खिलाफत अहमदिया
दुआ कर लें।
दुआ
Madam Sahib?
He's our gatekeeper. He's a gatekeeper.
Madam Sahib, I am Amir Sahib. जी जी ये रिसेप्शन है ये मेन इसका तकरीबन 40 की गुंजाइश है ये हुजूर है डोनेशन ट्री इस पे जी ये हुजूर डोनेशन ट्री इस पे तकरीबन 2 मिलियन का इस पे रेज हो गया है 10,000 का लीफ है एक जी 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 तो लग गए नाम लिखे हुए कितने देते हैं 10,000 का एक लीफ जूर इस साइड पे ये जूर आउट पेशेंट है ये ऑप्थेमोलॉजी है जी
अस्सलामुअलैकुम मज़ूर हसन खान लॉस एंजलिस से जी हमारा आई क्लिनिक जी
जूर ये सारा डायग्नोस्टिक है इस साइड पे लेफ्ट साइड पे ये अल्ट्रासाउंड मशीन है इसकी कैपेबिलिटी 4D तक होती है इस वाली की ऑप्शन है ये हुजूर डॉक्टर हैं यहाँ पे जो उन्होंने वो किया वॉलंटियर किया हुआ USA से ये हुजूर डिजिटल एक्सरे मशीन है आम की इसमें वो डायरेक्ट इमेज आ जाता है ये उसका प्रिंटर है हुजूर ये हुजूर फार्मेसी है जी जी यहीं पे ज़्यादातर तो लोकल हैं लेकिन जी नहीं इसमें हुजूर लेवल 3 की है और जी जी हुजूर यहाँ पे अपने ग्वाटेमाला सिटी के बाहर इस लेवल कोई भी नहीं है लैब जी हुजूर
और क्या है
इसमें हुजूर अपना हेमाटोलॉजी केमिस्ट्री इम्यूनोलॉजी ये सारे टेस्ट हैं माइक्रोबायोलॉजी भी ये ज़रूर सैंपल कलेक्शन है लैब का ये ज़रूर एमरजेंसी की रिसेप्शन है और ये एमरजेंसी है लेफ्ट पे ये ज़रूर एमरजेंसी है 2 बेज हैं
इमरजेंसी करते हैं
जी मैं ट्रॉमा इमरजेंसी मेडिसिन
करते हैं अच्छा मुझे बना दिया डॉक्टरों का जो
जी जी
तकरीबन 70 डॉक्टर्स ने वॉलंटियर किया हुआ है
ये जो न्यूट्रल आईसीयू जी हुजूर
हां जी ये पीडियाट्रिक्स न्यूरोलॉजी
न्यूट्रल ये हुजूर पोस्ट लेबर है
अच्छा
जी
गायनेकोलॉजी कौन है
गायनेकोलॉजी ये भी हैं और ये भी हैं
अच्छा
जी
अच्छा और
ये हुजूर लेबर वार्ड है ये हुजूर है सारा सर्जरी का एरिया और ये जहाँ हजूर तशरीफ ले जा रहे हैं ये सारा क्लीन कॉरिडोर है, ये वाला जहाँ से वो स्क्रब होके डॉक्टर आते हैं। ये हुजूर हमारे 2 ORs हैं, एक ये है और एक उसके साथ है। नहीं हुजूर OR, जी जी ऑपरेशन थिएटर। ये जो लेफ्ट के ICU है, सर्जिकल और मेडिकल दोनों 9 बेडेड है। अच्छा जी, सेंट्रल मॉनिटरिंग के साथ हर एक के साथ विंडो है। अच्छा जी, वो विंडो इसलिए होती है कि वो पेशेंट जो है उसकी रिकवरी ज़्यादा बेहतर हो सकती है। ये तो हुजूर फ्रांस से 4 स्टूडेंट्स आए हैं कल हमारे साथ इंटर्नशिप करने के लिए। जी
A large reception event was organized to celebrate the opening of the hospital, which was attended by more than 600 Guatemalan and international guests.
The opening of this hospital is an important step forward. And who better to do this work than Humanity First and the Ahmadiyya Muslim community? We have been inspired by the Ahmadiyya Muslim community's work here in Guatemala. Teams of Ahmadiyya doctors have visited Guatemala to provide free eye care to those in need. They have seen year after year the need for more hospitals, for places for doctors to do their work, and they have taken action.
I am confident it will now be clear to all of you that we have not constructed this hospital in order to profit or to gain favorable publicity. Rather, our only objective is to serve the people of your nation by providing high-quality health care to the people of this land. Rest assured, any fund generated by the hospital will be used to further serve the people of Guatemala, and not a penny will be sent abroad. Whatever income is received through patient fees will be reinvested to ensure that those who cannot afford treatment can receive it at a subsidized rate or, if feasible, for free. Apart from this, any additional income will be used to maintain and improve the hospital facilities or to fund new ways to serve humanity. Our previous humanitarian projects testify to the truth of what I have said. Wherever we have built schools or hospitals, we have never taken any of the income out of the country. Rather, we have always reinvested it locally in a way that benefits the people of that nation, and the same will be the case here in Guatemala. God willing, this is not the end of our commitment to serving this nation, but is only the start.
A la construcción de este hospital, he hecho más de una visita, entonces he visto cómo ha ido creciendo, cómo se ha ido equipando, cómo se ha ido contratando recurso humano, y ahora al verlo ya completamente terminado y habilitado con todo su equipo, pues definitivamente que es una obra que va a venir a ayudar muchísimo a la gente de toda el área esta, tanto Zacatepeques como Chimaltenango.
Y eso es prácticamente lo que él habla, ¿verdad? De la paz en las comunidades, en la humanidad, que es algo que hoy sinceramente todos los gobiernos y religiones deberían de estar profesando la paz en el mundo, y creo que él, desde el momento en que él inicia su conversatorio, pues genera también un sentimiento de paz a los que los escuchamos.
Muchísimas gracias, es una oportunidad maravillosa la que tenemos en Guatemala, sí, porque vamos a aprovechar la salud que nos están dando, así como la capacitación que están ofreciendo a nuestros médicos y la salud que nos darán a todos. Es una verdadera y una magnífica oportunidad.
Realmente es una buena experiencia porque vemos la gran unión que existe en la comunidad musulmana, y ante todo su espíritu de humanismo y el deseo de ayudar a la humanidad en general. Eso creo que es un aspecto muy valioso que tiene esta comunidad.
His Holiness then hosted a press conference where a wide range of national and international media outlets were in attendance.
Pues son una cultura diferente. ¿Por qué hacer ese llamado precisamente? ¿Por qué hacer ese llamado e insistir en eso?
वो कह रहे हैं हुजूर कि आपके जो स्पीच थी उसमें आपने एक इस्लाम का दूसरा व्यू पॉइंट पेश किया था और वो हमारा जो सोचा हमने वो मुख्तलिफ है, तो इसकी क्या वजह है कि जो आपने व्यू पॉइंट दिया है?
अगर तो इस्लाम इनके सोचने की वजह से इस्लाम की तालीम नहीं है, बल्कि इस्लाम की तालीम वो है जो कुरान करीम में हमें अल्लाह ताला ने बताई और जिसको हज़रत रसूल सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने अपने अमल से करके दिखाया और हमें बताया, वो असल इस्लाम है। और उसी को मैंने बताया था, कोई नया इस्लाम नहीं बताया था। और असल इस्लाम यही है, वो नहीं है जो बाज़ मुसलमान ग्रुपों को या मीडिया पोर्ट्रे करता है। और यही इस्लाम है जो हम दुनिया में फैला रहे हैं। और इसी इस्लाम को देख के अल्लाह ताला के फजल से लाखों लोग हर साल जमात अहमदिया में शामिल होते हैं।
Justamente este lugar y no la parte céntrica de Guatemala o donde hay más personas.
वो इक्वाडोर से हैं, वो कह रहे हैं कि ये ग्वाटेमाला में ये जगह क्यों चुनी और शहर के नज़दीक हाईवे मतलब मेन सिटी के करीब क्यों चुनी?
हमारे अपने वसाइल हैं, उस वसाइल के अंदर रहते हुए हमने करना होता है। एक जो चीज़ ये है, ये देखना होता है कि किस जगह पे हम कम से कम खर्च में ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा अच्छी चीज़ मुहैया कर सकें। दूसरे शहर के लोगों को तो फैसिलिटीज़ मिल जाती हैं, इस इलाके में के लोग जो हैं ये तकरीबन कहा जाता है कि 500,000 मिलियन लोग या इस गांव के लोग, इस कस्बे के लोग 30,000 हैं, इनको मेडिकल फैसिलिटीज़ मुहैया नहीं है। तो हमारा यही होता है कि जो डिप्राइव्ड इलाके हैं उनमें ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा खोलें। पैसा कमाना हमारा मकसद नहीं है, खिदमत खल्क करना हमारा मकसद है।
La comunidad musulmana inaugura el Hospital Nasir en Santiago Zacatepeques, que beneficiará con servicios de alta calidad la salud de los guatemaltecos.
The inauguration of the hospital and the presence of His Holiness generated significant media interest, and the event was covered extensively in local and state news. That same evening, His Holiness launched the Spanish version of the 100-year-old Ahmadiyya Muslim Community comparative religious magazine, Review of Religions. After this brief yet historic visit to Guatemala, His Holiness arrived in the city of Houston, Texas. His Holiness spent a few days here at the Masoor Mosque, where he had personal meetings with his community members, led Ameen ceremonies for children who had just finished their recitations of the Holy Quran, and led a Friday sermon, where he spoke of the need for Ahmadi Muslims to adopt the highest standards of righteousness.
ये बैत उस वक्त काम आ सकती है जब दीन को मुकद्दम कर लिया जावे और उसमें तरक्की करने की कोशिश हो। बैत एक बीज है जो आज बोया गया। अब अगर कोई किसान सिर्फ ज़मीन में तुख़्म-रेज़ी पर ही कनात करे, बीज बो दे और समझे कि ठीक हो गया सब कुछ, और फल हासिल करने के जो फ़राइज़ हैं उनमें से कोई अदा न करे, ना ज़मीन को दुरुस्त करे, ना आपाशी करे, ना मौका पे मौका मुनासिब खाद ज़मीन में डाले, ना काफ़ी हिफाजत करे, तो क्या वो किसान किसी फल की उम्मीद कर सकता है? ये इलाका भी ज़राअत का है। बहुत सारे लोग नए यहाँ आने वाले भी जो आए हैं अब रिफ्यूजी स्टेटस पे या असाइलम लेकर, वो भी देहातों से भी आए हुए हैं। उनको भी पता है कि अगर बीज बोने के बाद सही निगहदाश्त न की जाए फसल की तो उसे फल नहीं लगता। बस यहाँ आने वालों को, नए आने वालों को इस हवाले से मैं ये भी कह दूँ कि अल्लाह ताला ने यहाँ आपके हालात बेहतर किए, मजहबी आज़ादी दी, इबादत का हक़ अदा कर सकते हैं और आज़ादी से अपने मज़हब का इजहार कर सकते हैं। इसलिए ये ज़रूरी भी है हर एक अहमदी के लिए यहाँ जो पाकिस्तान से ख़ास तौर पे आए हुए हैं कि दीन को दुनिया पर मुकद्दम रखने के लिए पूरी कोशिश करें।
During his visit, His Holiness also met with Professor Dr. Imran Al-Badawi from University of Houston, Professor Craig Considine of Rice University, and U.S. Representative for Texas, Michael McCall.
And I mean, even myself as a non-Ahmadi Muslim, it gives me a great deal of pride that you represent a Muslim community that makes all of us look good and serves humanity. as you can tell, you know, the media and also a number of events, world events, make us look quite bad, and the situation, of course, all around does not look good. So thank you again for image does matter, representation matters a lot. That's great news.
And for me, and for me, Your Holiness, obviously I'm of the Catholic faith, but the Ahmadi.
Are you practicing?
Yes, yes.
That's good.
But the
That's good.
the
That's what I
Ahmadi.
always say, that whatever religion you hold, at least you should be practicing and be from your faith.
I'm from Boston, Irish Catholic descent, so it's and Italian, so it's tough to not keep that. But I'd like to say the Ahmadi community and I think the Ahmadi spirit has actually made me a better Catholic, and I think even more importantly that it's made me a better human being.
Yes.
And I mean that just through all the friendships that I've formed and your teachings and the teachings as a whole. I sincerely mean that.
After a few days in Houston, His Holiness departed for the community's headquarters in Silver Spring. There His Holiness gave an audience to Honourable Sam Brownback, Ambassador at Large for International Religious Freedom, and Honourable Jamie Raskin, Member of US Congress. On the 2nd of November, Hazrat Khalifatul Masih delivered a Friday sermon at the Bait ar-Rahman Mosque, reminding Ahmadi Muslims of their duty to uphold the highest standards of morality at all times.
गैरों को हम इस्लाम की खूबियाँ बताते हैं तो कहते हैं कि बंदों के हकूक़ की अदायगी के आला तरीन मयार इस्लाम की तालीम में इस्लाम हकूक़ लेने के बजाय हकूक़ की अदायगी की तरफ तवज्जो दिलाता है। लोगों को तो हम बढ़ के ही बातें करते हैं और हमारे अमल इससे अगर मुख्तलिफ हैं तो हम गुनाहगार हैं और झूठ बोल रहे हैं। बस इसका भी बारीकी के साथ हर अहमदी को जायज़ा लेना चाहिए। हमारे अमल हमारी तालीम के मुताबिक होंगे तो हमारी तबलीग भी फलदार होगी, हमारे असरात लोगों पर अच्छे होंगे।
After the sermon, His Holiness led a Bait ceremony where more than 8,000 Ahmadi Muslims took part.
Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is His servant and messenger. I entered this day the Ahmadiyya Jamaat in Islam at the hand of Masroor. Rabbi inni zalamtu nafsi wa atraftu bi dhanbi faghfir li dhunubi wa innahu la yaghfiru dhunuba illa anta.
On the 3rd of November, Hazrat Khalifatul Masih made his way to Virginia, where he was to inaugurate the Masoor Mosque, which was obtained over a year ago and had since been converted into a mosque from a church and will serve as a place of worship and gathering for more than 1,000 Ahmadis in the area. Upon arrival, His Holiness was greeted by hundreds of local Ahmadis. His Holiness inaugurated the mosque and made a brief inspection of the facilities before leading prayers.
क्या मल्टीपर्पज को हॉल बनाया इसको?
मस्जिद है लेकिन दूसरे कामों में इस्तेमाल हो सकती है।
मेरा अपनी बनाई?
मेरा सोच रहे इसके बाद बनाया।
A press conference was held where local media had the opportunity to pose questions to His Holiness.
Your Holiness, I wondered about your view of the state of the world today. I know that you strive for peace, but it doesn't seem to be a very peaceful place. We have this ongoing war in Syria, turmoil in many parts of the world. What is your view on this, and how do we get peace?
You see, if the world leaders, all the people, did not realize their duties towards their Creator and towards their fellow being, then there's going to be a big havoc in the world. And nobody can control it. You see, every person, we blame other person for his shortcomings, for his faults, for his mistakes, but we do not see ourselves. So, according to the Islamic teaching, which is not being practiced by most of the Muslims, even Muslim countries, but we profess and preach that and try to practice at that instead of demanding for your own rights, you should try to give rights to others. And that is the only solution, and which seems to be very much difficult to be established or practiced in this present day world. And if it was not done, you are going to face another Third World War.
Hazrat Khalifatul Masih also had personal meetings with Congressman Jerry Connolly and Lantos Sweat, president of Lantos Foundation for Human Rights and Justice. Later, His Holiness gave audience to a number of high-profile guests, which included city, state, religious and educational leaders. A large reception event was held where more than 200 dignitaries attended.
Our country needs to take heed of those words: love for all, hatred for none. What you see in front of you, Your Holiness, is indeed a representation of a community that welcomes diversity, that celebrates our differences in the form of unity. On our symbol in the United States, we say, E pluribus unum, Latin for out of many, one. We are one community, we are one country, and we celebrate your opening of this beautiful mosque. We welcome you in our midst. We celebrate your spiritual legacy and what it brings to our community. It makes us better too.
His Holiness is leading Muslim figure promoting peace with his sermons, lectures, books, and personal meetings, has continually advocated the Ahmadiyya Muslim values of service to humanity, universal human rights, and peaceful and a just society. With that, I'd like to thank and welcome His Holiness to Prince William County, Virginia, and present you with the certificate of recognition.
I hope and pray that may Allah the Almighty enable us all to play our respective roles in bringing an end to the conflict that have plagued the world and to eradicate all forms of injustice and intolerance. Rather than a world of hate and hostility, I pray we leave behind a world of love and compassion. Instead of selfishly pursuing self-interest, may all people recognize the true value of serving the common good. At the end, I pray that this mosque proves to be a shining light in this community and a means of unity and hope. Ameen. Thank you.
I was inspired by His Holiness's comments. I could feel his love and his wisdom and his generosity and his spirit.
It just made me feel, it made me tear up, to be honest with you, because there is so much negativity in our society right now, and for him to come out with that message of peace and love and talk about your religion and how that focus is of peace and love, and letting people know that and trying to break through all the noise.
Love all, hate none. There's no hate in this community, and that's where we need to continue to build from, is spreading love.
And I think his words were just appropriate for the tone of our country, and hopefully they will resonate across the Commonwealth of Virginia. And it was moving.
And it was beautiful. And I was reading the booklet, and people have to know about this because people have such perverted ideas about Islam. And the more I read this, the more impressed I got.
I think that he was very clear in identifying what is the religion of Islam. And the religion of Islam is peace, and it's love, and it's community, and it's justice. And sorry, I'm like getting emotional saying it because it's tough, you know? But I think the distinction is people who are violent or commit acts of terror or do things that harm the community as a whole. That's not what this religion is. And I think that's important for everybody to know.
These were just some of the few highlights of the memorable tour of Hazrat Khalifatul Masih to the Americas. To watch the full events and sermons, stay tuned to the MTA schedule for repeats, or head online to the MTA website or our YouTube channel, where you can watch all events.